going on, world? I'm Wesley from A Connection TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And the similar connections that we're going to adopt with this young man right now are with Peter from Real World Season 32. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? What's going on?
I'm pretty good, man. How's your holidays been so far?
Good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. I don't really, celebrate the holidays, but this year I've actually decided to do something different. So I actually cooked at my house for Thanksgiving, and we'll probably have like a Christmas party or something like that.
Oh, good for you. Awesome.
Yeah. So what are your plans for Christmas?
I don't know yet, man. I'm still like Christmas shopping. You know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass. It sucks, but getting it done.
Okay. So usually my first question with all of my interviews that I do with these TV personalities like yourself are the basic questions where I ask, how old are you and what's your zodiac sign?
So, let me center myself here. All right. Here we go. So, I am 25 years old, and my zodiac sign is a Leo.
Oh, yes!
You're a Leo?
Yes, indeed. August 11th.
All right, I'm August 2nd.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, so for people
man,
out
Leos,
there,
you know how Leos are.
I know how Leos are, but for people out there that do not know how Leos are, describe what a Leo is.
If I were to describe a Leo in a certain way, very outgoing, they're very territorial. So whatever's theirs is theirs, and they don't, and they're very true to themselves and true to other people. I feel like so. Whatever is yours. Don't mess with it. You know what I mean? You don't want to mess with somebody's belongings if they're a Leo. So.
Yes, I agree. What in this world made you decide to be a part of The Real World on MTV?
It was really interesting. I don't know. I was on a previous show called $1 Million Maze Runner, and it was run by MTV. And it was made by Buna Murray, so I guess they kept me in their system. And I got a call to go to an open casting call when I lived in Miami. Well, I lived in Deerfield Beach, Florida, for around 7 months after I graduated college. So that was January of 2016. and then I went to the open call in Miami in April. Or, no, way before that. February, March. And got called back, and then the whole 9 yards started happening, man. The process started going. So.
All right. So how has your life changed since being on the show? Or has it changed?
My life has changed a lot. I get recognized not wherever I go, but, usually when I'm out, people will go up to me like, oh, my God, you're from Real World. Like, yeah, no big deal. And, I'm just getting hit up by a lot of different people to do stuff. I don't know. It's just really weird seeing yourself on television. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah.
It's not what it's crazy. It's craziness.
Yeah. So being that this is your second show, especially with MTV, are you thinking about doing any other shows? Any of the challenge shows that are coming up?
Yeah. So, honestly, it's not my call in order to do a challenge or not. If MTV calls me, then sure, I'm 100% open for it. And my first show, $1 Million Maze Runner, was actually considered a challenge-like show. So I think I'd do pretty well on challenge, if you ask me. So.
Okay. So you're
I think I'll get the call. We'll see. Hopefully.
Okay. So you're pretty fit. You stay in the gym and all that.
Oh hell yeah, of course. Got to stay in the gym.
Okay. So when you got the call from MTV, what did they exactly tell you? Did they say it was The Real World? What did they call this show that they wanted you to be on?
Yeah, so I was actually getting casted to be an original roommate. So there was a first set of roommates, and then there was another set of roommates that came in a week after. But I was originally supposed to be getting casted for the original 7, and then after my final interview in Los Angeles, they called me and they're like, yeah, we're gonna switch you to another show. And I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, we're just, we think you're more athletic and blah, blah, blah. A show called whatever. I don't even know what the hell the show was called. So, all of a sudden, I didn't know it was Real World. Even though, I kind of figured something was fishy. And then, I show up to Portland, where they flew me out. And, all right, you're on this new challenge show, whatever. And then all of a sudden, they're like, nope, we're just kidding. You're on Real World now. So like I should. So.
What did you know about Mike as far as where he went and what he was going to do before you got your call?
Yeah, me and Mike, I really don't know. I really haven't spoken to Mike before the show, so
Okay.
I really didn't understand what was going on.
Oh, okay.
He told me he got a call for a random show, and I'm like, oh, I got a call from the real world, and we stayed in contact like that, but we never actually like talked about like leaving and going. So we knew, both of us knew that we were gonna get like going on a show. We just didn't exactly know which one. I would
Okay.
say.
Okay. MTV is pretty sneaky.
Yeah, man, they're sneaky people, man. Sneaky.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you finally met everybody, as far as your bad blood castmates when you went to Portland, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I had a lot going through my mind. It was, I didn't know, it was going to be hard to meet it was hard enough to meet 6 people that I didn't really know. And then meeting another 7 people was even crazier. So there was going to be a total of 14 people in the house.
Right.
Like, you can only imagine how that feels. It's so, like, just stressful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Did you guys get along, you and your bad blood castmates, like right away? Was it like instantaneous?
Yeah, of course. I feel like it was me and my bad blood castmates got along pretty relatively easy because like we all didn't really like our other bad blood castmate, so we all like ganged up and were like, like fuck them. So like we just like mended friendships just through hating the other people. So I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
So Leos have a thing where they can be very flirtatious. And,
True.
And very forward with our forward thinking. And
Yes.
we saw in like the beginning episode that you were kind of like being flirtatious with the girls. What did you think about your girl castmates?
Yeah, so I was being a little flirtatious. I met Jen first. Jen, sweetheart, I thought she was attractive off the bat. I liked her first. But the first question I asked these ladies are they single? And, they gave me their responses. And Jen's happened to be, I don't know, kind of, maybe a little bit. I'm like, oh, all right, well, whatever, next. Like, then I met, like, Kim. She's attractive. Lana's attractive. And then I met Anna. I met Anna last. And then, Anna, me and her hit it off right away. But, I don't know. It just, it seems like that she was the only one that was, like, really available to talk to, so I just started talking to her, So.
Okay, so usually when you see someone, the first thing that you think about is their attraction. Like, are you attracted to them? Then you get to know them, and they either remain attractive or they become ugly to you. So after the show, what girls are still attractive to you from your whole cast, the whole cast?
Well, I mean, everybody's relatively attractive. They wouldn't put anybody ugly on the real world.
Okay.
I mean, but I find Jen the most attractive.
Okay. Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Maybe.
Okay. So, what were your thoughts of the house when you finally get to the house? Did you like the house? The room seemed kind of small.
Yeah. I get to the house and nobody's there besides our 7, and it smells like shit. I mean, the whole entire house smells like piss. I'm just like, what's going on? Like, this is shit. This is a shit show in here. And the rooms were small, man. I mean, it was no joke.
Yeah.
There was 14 of us, and there was only 3 bedrooms. I mean, there was like 4 beds in one room, like 3 beds in another, and 4 beds in another one. It was crazy.
Did you guys have windows at all? It seemed like the house wasn't ventilated. Like.
There was windows behind the kitchen that, like, we couldn't really even open. So it was just.
When you realized that you were finally going to be in the house with 7 other people, one being Mike, what was going on? Like, did you have any arguments with the camera crew? Were you pissed at production? Like, what was going on in your head?
Yeah, you know what? Me and Mike, it wasn't like he's like, I mean, it's not like this kid screwed me. I mean, I don't know. People have like different feelings about money, right? So me and Mike's bad blood was that he owed me $2,000, around $2,000, probably a little more. And I'm not really one to like crucify somebody for money, but I don't know, like I was really upset at him. You know what I mean? He owed me $2,000. He told me he would give it back to me, and he never did. So that was kind of rough. But I didn't really get into arguments with the camera crew or production because, I signed up for this, so I knew that there was going to be some sort of twist at some point. So I just braced myself and I let it ride. You know what I mean? He used to be my best friend, one of my best friends. I'm sorry. So, I had to just talk to him about it and just figure out, the money situation.
Got you. So, who do you think had the hardest time with being with their bad blood in the house?
The hardest one. For sure, it was Theo and Casius. They're cousins. Supposedly, there was like a drug bust that went down, and like it cost Theo his scholarship at his college, and blamed it on Cass. And then there's a whole backstory to that. But them two living in the house together was it was hard because they were just always at each other's throats 24/7.
Yeah, we saw one episode where you and Theo were having an exchange of words and things got a little heated. Where was it kind of like your crew versus their crew at that particular moment?
Yeah, in that particular moment, it was actually really funny because my other 5 Bad Blood cast members left, so it was just me and Cassius in the house. And by the way, I was blackout drunk. It was me and Cassius in the house, and it was them 7, the original 7. So they started talking. Him and Cassius were talking. Cassius and Theo were talking, and like Theo made a comment about him being in the house for only because of him. And I'm like, in my situation, I'm like, if it wasn't for me, Mike wouldn't be here. Even though he was an original castmate, we got switched. So I'm like, if it wasn't for me, Mike wouldn't be here. So I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, if you didn't have Cassius, you wouldn't be here either. That's the reason why I said that. So it kind of was like I had Cassius's back because he was my original roommate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of was like us 2 versus them 7. You know what I mean? So it was like that.
Okay. I mean, I can understand that. I mean, that's how we are. I mean, usually you defend your boy. So yeah, that
exactly.
makes sense.
You know how it is.
Who do you think is lying in that situation between Cassius and Theo?
You know what? I've grown to love them both. They're both great guys, great people. It's a really tough situation, and I really don't know. I really don't have an answer for you. I've heard so many stories, so many side stories. You know what?
Right.
I like them both. So they're both good guys, great guys. So
Yeah.
One of them knows the truth, so that's all that matters.
Right. It's really difficult to. It's difficult to figure that out because both stories are completely different. One saying one thing, the other saying something else. So that's pretty interesting. I have a question from one of the Twitter followers about BGC. Wants to know, did you really taunt Anna and Katrina all day, every day, and explain why it was so difficult dealing with those women?
I figured that would be one of the first questions. Did I taunt them? No, I did not taunt them. Anna and Katrina taunted me a lot. See, these girls are very maniacal. They're not dumb. These girls are, no offense to anybody from South Florida or Florida in general, but people get the thing people from Florida are they're slower, blah blah blah. No, it's not true, because these girls are very, very smart people. They know exactly what they're doing, and they manipulated the house. They're the ones who ousted themselves from every situation. They're just not nice people. So I'll just put it like that. I don't want to give too much away, but they're not nice people. And what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
Well, explain why it was so difficult dealing with them.
Yeah, it was just difficult dealing with them because they ousted themselves. They always had something to say. They'd say something to me about I'm in the house. I'm clearly with a girl. I don't want to give too much away. But I'm with a girl in the house, and they stirred up the pot a lot of times, and they did it on purpose just to get me mad. And they know that I'm a Leo, and I get a little high tempered.
What was
I'm not afraid to show my personality. And also, really quick, during one of the last episodes or 2 episodes ago, there was like a yo mama joke towards me.
I was about to ask you. Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah, so they don't really make it seem like a big deal. Like, yeah, it's a yo mama joke, but it really wasn't though. They made it seem like that on television. Like, they don't know my mom. Like, my mom was sick actually back home. So like, they didn't really understand the situation. So I was feeling I was a little drunk, and like I was being nice. I'm like, hey, is this your purse? Like, no, it's your mom's. Like, ha ha ha. And they start laughing at each other, and like they didn't say like we're just kidding. I'm sorry. And I'm like, yo, I have this like you don't even know my mom. Like, she's like sick back home. She's like, oh, it was just a joke. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, and they didn't show that on television, but like now they knew, and they were still like egging me on about it. And then I snapped. So that's just one prime example of many examples to come in the later episodes that you'll see.
Got you.
They're not nice people. You'll see for yourself. It's crazy, man. These girls are sick in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. In all honesty, was it a sudden attraction? What was the sudden attraction between you and Jen that kind of like sparked for you after the you and Anna situation?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Yeah. My initial attraction to Jen was just her personality. I mean, I met her first when we landed in Portland. She was just a sweetheart. It actually, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because I got to be friends with Jen before I was with her in the house. And by the way, that whole like story where it's like, oh, you're with Anna, then you're with Jen like 2 seconds later. No.
So she wasn't a rebound?
No, it happened like 4 days later. Like, they made it seem like on television that it was like, all right, I'm done with Anna, now I'm with Jen. And things ended with Anna, and me and Anna didn't talk for 4 days. So that like conversation with us out in the park, that happened after me and Jen kissed, which is the weirdest thing, because it showed us before kissing. But I don't want to get too much into that. But the point is, me and Jen, I found initial attraction to her already, right off the bat, but it was hard because she had a guy back home, quotations in parentheses, boyfriend, not boyfriend, whatever it was, she was, whatever it was. And, I always found her attractive, and then once me and Anna were done, like, me and Jen's friendship grew and grew and grew, and then next thing I knew, I was sitting in a confessional with her drunk, and then, shit happens,
Is it difficult to have sex in the real world house?
All right. Is it difficult? I mean, not really, considering I only tried to do it when I was really fucked up. Because I try to like be like, it's no big deal. Then I woke up and just like, shit, this is all getting recorded. Like, there's cameras, there's mics everywhere. Fuck. But is it difficult? No, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. You know what I mean? It's there's other people in the rooms. There's cameras everywhere. There's lights everywhere. It's crazy. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, but
you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. Exactly.
What was it like with all of like so many people being in the house? How many different smells did you smell like every freaking day? Like, dude, from the bathroom to the farts to nobody wearing deodorant, like.
It was just miserable, man. It was just mayhem, 24/7. People leaving, coming in, coming out. There was only 2 bathrooms, 2 toilets, 1 refrigerator, 4 sinks. It was just try getting ready. Try getting ready with 8 girls in the house.
Yeah.
8 girls. 6 guys.
Crazy.
It was nonstop, just a cycle of just different things filtering in and out every day. So
it seems like the club life is pretty decent out there. Did you guys really have a lot of fun? Is there a lot of fun moments that we did not see as of yet?
Yeah, I mean, there's this place called Tia Lou's, actually. It's definitely I'll give a shout out to that place. That place was awesome. Owner's name is Amir, great guy. That spot was banging. I mean, it was just sick. A lot of stuff going on. Everything so far, everything you guys have seen has been legit. In terms of going out, there's lot of good stuff going on. But just wait. There'll be some crazy shit going on in the next couple episodes. You'll see.
Okay.
Very exciting. Yeah.
Do you think that any of the Bad Blood storylines are fake?
Are
just made for TV?
I'm not really too sure. I keep saying I don't know. Maybe like I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I mean, there's really no storyline behind Robbie and Jen. They were exes. Like Will and Anika, they were exes. They had obviously had 3.
Yeah.
Kim and T, that whole bullying thing. I don't know. I'm not saying either or. Supposedly she got bullied. She was honest about it. Kim says, she hasn't talked to her in 6 years, so they sorted their thing out. I'm not gonna speak on that.
Right.
Me and Mike, that was real. He really did owe me fucking $2,000, and I really was fucking pissed off about it, even though it shows that I'm really not. I really was, but I didn't know anybody in the house, so it's hard for me to like. When you see somebody that used to be best friends with for a year and a half, 2 years, well, actually 4 or 5 years, what are you gonna do? Not be like, oh, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna like eventually like warm up to that person and talk to them.
Right.
So that was real. That really was real. He really did owe me $2,000. That was like really bad. That was real bad blood. And obviously the Cass and Theo situation was serious, and then the Jordan Lana situation, that seemed pretty serious too. So I feel like all the bad bloods in the original 7 had some bad blood. It seemed like.
What was your relationship like with Tia? Because on this last episode, I think aired this past Wednesday, she was on the after show talking about her accent, how she no longer has the English accent. When you met her, did you think that was a real accent? Because I know Kim was saying that it wasn't. Like, describe your relationship with Tia.
Yeah, you know what? Well, you could see Tia almost beat my ass, like the first episode. But, after that, we sat down, like right after that, like two seconds after that, we fought. We sat down, me and her, for like 15 minutes. We talked it out, squashed it. And we were really great friends after that. Me and Tia are really, we're really close, I would say. I don't talk to her that often now, but I can shoot her a text and be like, hey, what's up? And she's like really open. I can call her anytime. She's definitely one of the closer girls, obviously besides Jen, that I'm really close to.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's pretty interesting because watching the show, you really wouldn't see that. We don't get to see your interaction like that at all with her.
Yep.
Okay.
No, me and her, she helped. If I had any problems with anybody, I'd call her. I'd talk to her. Yeah, and she was really cool with Jen. We never had a problem. After that, never. Never, ever. We were really, really good people. Really, really cool.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Cool. We got another Twitter question. At Junior Jack 1234 wants to know how many fights occurs in the house.
Oh, I can't give that information away right now, but I'm gonna tell you that a lot of fights do happen, so buckle up and get ready because I'm warning you. There are going to be sparks flying. Number 1, very soon. Number 2, there's going to be a lot more sparks flying.
Really?
In every episode, so just get ready.
Interesting. Is it with the females or the guys?
Both.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't think that.
I'm not kidding.
It seems like it seems like the cast is pretty much on that family kind of vibe. Like everybody's getting along, trying to keep the peace and trying to be positive and all that. So you wouldn't really think that, the way that you're describing it, that we're really going to see a lot coming in to this next few episodes.
Yeah. The next 4 episodes, get ready, man.
Okay.
Everybody. It's going to be mayhem. Mayhem.
Okay. I know you can't really tell us about which Bad Bloods actually make up in the end, but do you have any regrets on being on this show and doing it this way? I
have, I don't regret, You know what? I can't say yet because I don't know how they're going to show me. But as of right now, no, I have no regrets at all.
Okay.
Everything that I did, everything that I say, it's all me. So that's who I am as a person. And, you know, if you don't like me, I'm sorry, but I try to be the nicest person I can be. So I'm, like, really cool in person. Like, I don't know how I think, like, you know, people are judging me off the real world, but I'm an awesome guy, I promise. Like, I'm really super nice. Like, I'm a sweetheart, I think.
I don't get any crazy vibes from you. I mean, watching the show, even though, you know, we all know that shows are edited to paint certain stories. I don't get a negative vibe from you at all.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you get they're putting a positive light on you, so you know it's pretty cool.
Well,
I thought it was funny how you were in your post confessional when they were showing Mike was crying at the bonfire about the about, you know, almost getting butt raped in prison and having to join, you know, the Aryans and talking about his past, and you were in the post confessional like, is he lying? I don't know if he's lying. I mean, but he probably is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mike will tell you he's a very good bullshit artist. He's one of the best around, man. You know, how do you get on Are You the One and The Real World? How do you do that? You know what I mean? You got to bullshit your way a lot of time. And I'm not saying he's bullshitting at all, but you know, he's got a very far-fetched personality, and he's very, like, all over the fucking place, so.
Do you understand
why sometimes he's telling the truth, sometimes he's not. I don't know.
Right. Do you understand why he decided to leave the show? Did it make sense?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. Like I said, that was a really crazy episode, last episode, and, you know, he caught a lot of heat for it, so, you know, he apologized for what happened. What did he say? Whatever he said, and do I understand why he left? I understand from his perspective why he left. Would I have done the same thing? I don't know. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Watching Casius get upset, you know, when he finds out about what Mike actually said, could you not understand where he's coming from, but did you get why he immediately got upset?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, what Mike said was absolutely downright disrespectful. And if not, whatever he said, however people perceive that.
Right.
You know, like I said on the after show, you know what I mean? I'm not an African American, so I'm not able to understand how that feels. So I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth by saying, you know, it's wrong or it's right. Of course it's wrong, but I don't know how that specifically feels. And I don't want to put any feelings out there if I'm not an African American.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't want to comment on that because it's not my place to.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I totally understand why Casius did what he did, for sure.
Okay. Who are you, like, a fan of The Real World? Have you watched it before in the past?
Yeah, I have a little bit. Nothing too crazy. You know what season I watched, actually? I watched Portland.
Okay.
Portland was one of my big seasons that I loved. I loved that season. Like, I watched that thing. But after that, I really didn't watch. I didn't watch, what was it? X's, Explosion. I didn't watch Skeletons. Nobody watched Go Big or Go Home. So.
Okay. And any challenges? Like, anybody in The Real World that you're looking to meet or interested in meeting? Like, any of the females, personally?
Yeah. I mean, female-wise, I liked, actually, one of the girls I'm friends with. Well, I'm saying her name's Madison. I think she's from, she has, like, a kid. She seems like a really sweetheart girl.
Maddie.
She follows me on Twitter. She follows Jen on Twitter. She's really cool. She seems awesome. Like, she messaged Jen, like, you know, like, go get a girl, da-da-da. Guy-wise, I'd like to meet, like, I know it sounds cliche, but, yo, that guy Johnny Bananas, man. Like, that guy, like, wins. And that guy Leroy seems cool as hell. Leroy, he's the guy from Vegas, right?
Yeah, Leroy, yeah, he's cool. Yeah,
he's cool. Johnny Bananas seems cool. Wes seems funny. Like, I meet all those challenge guys. Like, they seem cool as hell. Like, Johnny Bananas, that guy just wins. So, like, I feel like he's just a winner.
What do you
and, like,
think
I want to surround
about
myself with winners. So.
what do you think about what he did to Sarah? Do
You
you
know,
think it's crazy? Do you think it's fucked up?
Put it this way. If you put it like this, I'm not going to mention any names to myself, but if I were to go in a house with my rival, and by the end of the season, everyone will know who my one rival is. If I was put in Johnny Banana's situation, I would have, like, took the money and just, like, ripped it and been like, fuck you. That's how. So I don't blame him. If he had a true rivalry, good for him for what he did. Because I'm telling you, if I was on Rivals, if there's another Rivals and I'm on with this girl, I would do the exact same thing. Like, not even a question. Like, fuck you. So, point being, yes, I feel bad for her, but she doesn't seem like that type of girl. Like, what's her name? I'm sorry.
Sarah.
Sarah, yeah. She's like a sweetheart, and I like her on camera. And, it's messed up for what he did, but if he really, truly felt some type of way about this girl, then you know what? Then he did it. So.
Got you.
Shit happens.
What would you say to everybody that watches Real World that doesn't really know what happens in the house and behind the scenes and behind the cameras?
Yeah.
What would you say if anybody was like, I want to be on Real World? What would you say to them?
Yeah. Somebody was like, I want to be on Real World. I would say, prepare yourself for 24/7 filming. Get ready for drinking a lot. Get ready for experiencing different things with people that you would never hang out with in a million years. You're surrounded with people that you would never think you'd hang out with, which is what makes the Real World experience so special, is because people don't realize is that you're hanging out with people from all different backgrounds, ethnicities, just everything. And you take for granted once you're home, you're like, shit. I kind of miss the house because, people were so diverse and it's just so interesting to live in that environment.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Right.
And, I would just let somebody know, like, don't take it for granted. Count it as a blessing.
Right.
So.
Okay. What did you learn most about yourself coming out of the house? And that'll be my last question to you, sir.
Okay. What I learned about myself from the house, I might as well say that. What I learned about myself is that I needed to learn how to control myself in a better way. If that makes any sense. When I drink, I tend to get angry sometimes. Well, not really. I'm a good drunk. When people egg me on, that's when I start getting a little crazy.
Uh-huh.
So I learned that in the what's it called? How do I say this? In the department of being angry,
okay.
I guess,
Okay.
when you're drunk.
Yeah.
And not letting people get under your skin. I need to learn how to control my temper.
Yeah.
So I coming out of the house, I know that I needed to work on that. So that was good for me. That was good personal growth.
Yeah, anger management is definitely taking in more self-control and figuring out what breaks you and what, that definitely. I got you.
Exactly. So I learned that, and you'll see in the future episodes what happens. So,
I can't wait to see, man. I definitely can't wait. I do appreciate you.
Crazy.
I do appreciate you taking the time out to do this interview. A lot of the times, the people that watch my channel, they always ask, when are you gonna do, the Real World? When are you gonna do this? Because I typically do the girls from the Bad Girls Club. But yeah, I definitely appreciate you doing this. It's really interesting hearing that editing plays a part into these particular episodes, because the way that they edit the Bad Girls Club is really, really crazy. So it's also interesting to know that they still do some of those kind of tricks with the Real World.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I can't wait to see what's coming up.
Dude, it's gonna be fucking crazy, man.
Oh gosh. All right. Explain to the people that weren't able to understand your history with your sister, if you can give us a little brief synopsis of how you came to meet and how that all worked out for the show.
Okay, yeah, I met Asia when I was about 15. I was about to turn 16.
I was trying to hurry. I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing. There was everything else. Right.